You are your own best advocate. When we're talking about Veterans Affairs claims, you need to figure out what kind of help you need. First of all, you have the Veterans Health Administration. You're not filing a claim with the Veterans Health Administration. You're filing a claim with the Veterans Benefits Administration. This is a benefits move. The Cemetery Division. You're not quite there yet, right? So we're not dealing with the cemetery, and we're not dealing with VA healthcare and that it sucks and your doctor sucks or is great or whatever. We're just focused on Veterans Benefits Administration. So you need to figure out what kind of help you need when it comes to your Veterans Affairs claims. You're most likely going to need medical help, medical evidence. This means a doctor on your side agreeing with the disability you want to get service connected. And this means a current diagnosis, current symptoms, and a nexus. If you need a nexus, send an email address right here. And don't be completely outlandish here. If it doesn't make sense, don't file a claim for it, right? You want to get a claim that makes sense, migraine secondary to tinnitus. There's case study, veterans have won it, do some research, look online and all that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, people have won that. Find something that you can win and then go get a doctor to help you win, right? Current diagnosis, current symptoms, and a nexus. That's the medical part of it. You might have something where you're having a problem with effective dates and back pay. That's not so much a doctor that can help you out with that. That's the red tape and the bureaucracy and stuff like that. Speaking of red tape, that's one of my specialties. I'm like Edward Scissorhands. Scissorhands. If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, level up your VA claim, talk to me on a live session, check out my boot camp. Links in the description. Let's talk. That one is probably going to be better with a VA disability lawyer because you're dealing with laws and statutes and stuff like that. So figure out, what kind of help you need and identify that up front so you know what kind of help to go after. So you're not just kind of, wow, I need help. Do you need this help? Do you need, you don't want to say yes to everything. You want to go in laser focused, right? Laser focused. Go in focused on what you need help with and then go get that help. When it comes to VA accredited lawyers, they're not allowed to charge you up front. System's totally broken. It would be so much easier if we could get a lawyer to help us out up front. So, we get the medical evidence, we get the legal stuff done, and then we have a lawyer kind of watching over it and yeah, I wouldn't do that, or you know what I mean? But we can't do that. VA accredited lawyers can't charge money up front, so you're probably not going to find a lawyer to help you. Some do it for free, but that's not the general rule. Lawyers charge money, they're a business, that makes sense. The system is set up for you to go get a VSO, fail on your own, and once you get to the appeals process, then you can get a lawyer involved. And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video, Hill & Ponton. If you need a VA disability attorney after your claim was denied, check out hillandponton.com to see if they can help you with your appeal. Since you're the advocate, this is your case, this is your claim, you need to educate yourself. So I would get a copy of your VA claims file so you can review all the medical evidence in it so you can determine what's good, what's bad, what's going to be used in your favor, what's maybe going to be, working against you. So you could go get a doctor to go fill in those blanks. If you have negative medical evidence, you need to offset that with positive medical evidence. Once they cancel each other out or it gets to a tie goes to the veteran. VA claims file is your first step. The next step is you want to learn the law. CFR 38 Part 4, the Schedule for Rating Disabilities. I'll put a link to how to get your VA claims file and the CFR in the description. It's good to familiarize yourself with how VA laws work. It's different than civil matters. It's different than divorce court. It's different than Social Security and workers' comp and any other kind of disability claims. You don't need to understand everything and be able to recite codes and laws, but you need to understand the basics and how they may apply to you. Also, in the CFR, the Code of Federal Regulations, that tells you all the rating criteria. So you can look at, I want to file a disability for this. You need a current diagnosis, current symptoms, and a nexus to establish service connection. It will tell you all the different ways you can do service connection: direct, secondary, aggravated, presumptive, or 1151 claim. You have to figure out the best way for you and your claim to establish service connection and then prove it. While you're educating yourself about the Code of Federal Regulations and the disabilities, you will want to focus on disabilities that are compensable and that the VA even recognizes. There are some conditions that the VA does not rate or offer VA benefits. This group of conditions includes issues like substance abuse and impairments caused by genetic conditions, like personality disorders. That's one of these conditions. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't file a disability claim. You need to get a doctor on board to switch that personality disorder over to something else in the mental health world that actually is compensable. Hearing loss claims. Typically, you get hearing aids and a 0% rating. If you're trying to increase your VA disability rating and win your Veterans Affairs claim, you need to develop a strategy and you need to go after things that pay and the VA recognizes. You'd be surprised how much stuff they don't recognize. Now, this is separate. I don't want to, get too confusing here, but Veterans Health Administration, they'll treat you for anything. And they'll, agree with all sorts of stuff. But the Veterans Benefits Administration doesn't work the same way, and even your private doctor doesn't work the same way. The VA just doesn't recognize certain disabilities at all. You may have them. You may think that it's military related. It may be military related. But if the VA just doesn't do that, then you need to move on to something else that actually does. This is where the strategy comes in. This is your claim, if you cobble it together with a VSO here, like I did, just using my story. One guy back in, I don't know when it was, 2008. My first claim, I didn't even have a VSO, didn't even know what a C&P exam was. That was 91. And then the last one was 2015 was another one. Didn't really do too well there. These people show up and they do little bits and pieces and they're just trying to get a little win. Like, can I get this guy like an extra 10%? And then he probably won't, talk too much shit on me. We're not really going for that, What rating are you trying to be at? If it's 100%, it's 100%. If you're at 20 and you're trying to get to 100, a 10% isn't going to really move the needle that much. So you need an overall strategy. This may take 5 years. You want to avoid having to appeal. So you want to go after stuff that you could prove very clearly and logically. And I'm not saying that C&P examiners or VA raters use logic at all. They're not. They're the most illogical bureaucracy I've ever encountered. But it at least has to make sense. So if you do need to lawyer up, you can, and they could fight and win. So who can help me fill out my claim? An accredited agent. Typically, it's a VSO, a Veteran Service Officer. Here's the problem with Veteran Service Officers. For me, may not be for you. It depends on your level of comfort with all this stuff. But you have to fill out a power of attorney, which means they could do anything on your behalf, whether you want it done or not. That's why I don't like VSOs. I like control. If I screw it up, I only blame me. It sucks when you hire somebody that doesn't give a shit about your claim. He gets paid either way, so he doesn't really care. He does something goofy, and your claim gets denied, and you weren't really paying attention, and he had a POA over you. I don't like that, but be aware of that. I'm not saying all VSOs are bad. I'm just saying every single one I hired completely sucked and screwed the pooch. And where are they now? They're all dead because they're all like 81 when I hired them. I don't know what that's all about. Hopefully we're getting some younger VSOs that actually know what they're talking about. Regardless, a VSO can help you out with your claim. they're accredited, they're able to log into the VBMS, Veterans Benefits Management System. That's where the evidence is. You need people that can actually go look at the evidence. That's why I say it's a good idea to get your VA claims file, because even we can't access the Veterans Benefits Management System. So going it alone, getting your claims file, understanding the law, that's the best way, because you're going to have to defend your rating for the rest of your life. Things are going to pop up, a surprise reduction letter. It's better if you know what you need to do, and that's where the law comes in. Once you're at $33,206 every month, you could put a few hours into your claim. It's tax-free money for the rest of your life. If you don't look at it like that, that's cool. That's just the way I look at it. A accredited claims agent can help you. Same situation. They can get in, access VBMS. VA disability attorney, that's also accredited. They can help you. You can help yourself and file your own claim. That's what I recommend. DIY Veterans Affairs claims. I'm all about the DIY stuff because I don't trust people. I don't want to rely on people, especially people that get paid whether they win or lose. That's not a very good incentive, What are you doing, my boy Blue?
You're my boy, Blue!
Yeah, well, I get paid either way, so I don't really care if I do a good job. I don't like that. Another person that can help you out with your claim is anybody. They don't have access to the VBMS system, but they can help you. If you have your VA claims file, you have somebody that's smart with this kind of stuff, or maybe you can't handle it, or, want to work with it on somebody. The little lady, the little man. Do they call the husband the little man? You know what I mean? Smart daughter, little computer genius kind of iPad person, which I guess is every kid that's been born in the last 15 years. Somebody that's smart with some tech and, filing things, they can help you. But when it comes to those friends, you're the one that actually has to hit the submit button on your VA claim. So keep that in mind. What to claim for VA disability? This is a good question. What do I claim? My mistake was I claimed way too much and I didn't have anything to back it up. A lot of you guys are on the same boat. Here's a couple examples of lots of stuff, throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall. What you can claim is stuff that you could win, or maybe I should say what you should be claiming is stuff that you could win. Is it logical to you? Is it in the Code of Federal Regulations? Is there any kind of case law to support what you're doing? Migraine secondary to tinnitus, sleep apnea secondary to PTSD, addressing the obesity, because they're going to be asking about it, addressing obesity by way of medications that cause you to get fat as an intermediate step. Learning how to put these things together is going to be huge for you. Look at what you have, what you could file, and what you could win. That's what you file a VA disability claim for. How does a VSO help with a VA claim? This one's a little all over the board. I'll just tell you what you should be doing. You should be using them to access the Veterans Benefits Management System, making sure, even though you signed a power of attorney, they don't make any moves on your behalf unless you know about it. Got to get that down too. And really, they're like a clerk or a secretary or something. You're driving the bus. You go get all the medical evidence. Don't just let them go do everything. They're not even doctors or lawyers or anything, and they're all overworked. So bring them a complete packet of logical stuff with solid medical evidence. And then if you need help, having somebody review your claim before you hit the submit button, that would be cool. I wouldn't use a VSO for anything more than accessing the VBMS system and bouncing questions off of them, but you pretty much already know the answer, but it's a big deal because you're filing a VA claim for money. It's nice to bounce it off of somebody that can review all the evidence, look at VBMS, has some kind of working knowledge and success with winning claims. That's about all I'd use a VSO for. This is what I recommend to my boot camp members, and I hope this sheds a little light on where you can get help to file a Veterans Affairs claim. Check out this video here if you want to check out more videos about the VA claims process, and I'll see you in the next video.